do 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 do. What's going on, guys? It is Friday, and this is the Movie Idiot Live Show. And what is the Movie Idiot Live Show? Well, it's a weekly show that we do here where we talk all things movies, TV, entertainment, that kind of stuff. And we talk about streaming, we talk about theaters, we talk about everything going on in the world of TV, movies, and entertainment. And we do it right here on the Movie Idiot Live channel. We stream live on Twitch. We stream live on Facebook Live. We stream live on YouTube. And yes, guys, typically we do this once a week, but I will tell you, I'm going to start this off with an apology. I missed last week's show. I'm really sorry. I'm just going to be straight open with you guys. Obviously, I've told you before, I do this as a hobby. This is something that I try to do and I like to do, but I take it seriously. I take it like it's a job because I want to be here for you. I have, subscribers and people who, check in and check out the show, and I wasn't here last week. I'm working like 70 hours a week right now, so I'm kind of getting my butt kicked. So I took a week off. I really appreciate you guys, understanding that. And we're going to move forward with today's show. Got a lot to talk about this week, including, of course, we have the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League drop. So, of course, that's on. We're going to be talking all about that. We're going to be talking about Superman and Lois on WB and why I think it's maybe the best WB show they have ever produced. So I'm going to get into that. Avatar reclaimed the #1 spot as the #1 movie of all time. So we're going to touch on that as well. Netflix is cracking down on password sharing. That's going to be a big deal in people's lives. So we're definitely going to touch on that. Falcon and Winter Soldier, of course, dropped today. This morning, so we are definitely going to touch on that. But first, we're going to touch, of course, on our main topic for the show. Before we get into that, of course, if you guys want to interact with the show, you guys can check in with the comment sections below, again, on Twitch, YouTube, and, of course, Facebook Live. You can also check in via the tip link, streamlabs.com/movieidiot. When you send in questions or comments via the tip link, you are helping support the show, and I really, really appreciate that as well. So, now that we got all that stuff out of the way, one more thing, of course, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun stuff. Tell your friends because we're trying to build an awesome channel and a fun film and TV community. All right, first main topic of the day. And guys, yes, it is, of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League dropped. It dropped on Thursday. I got to see it. I tried to watch it last night when I got home from work, but honestly, I couldn't make it through the whole 4 hours, right? So all 4 hours of glory dropped, and I got through the rest of it today. And I have some opinions. So obviously I started off with the main topic, of course, of today's video. And I said the sad truth about Zack Snyder's Justice League. And there's a sad truth about it because here's the thing. The sad truth about this movie is that we're not going to get more. That's the sad truth because this movie was exponentially greater than the original Justice League release. Exponentially greater. This movie was unbelievable. Down to the visual effects, the character development. Now, yes, is there some kind of dialogue? Sure. And maybe I should start with some of the negatives. Dialogue, yeah, not so hot. And it is long. It is 4 hours long in every bit of it, right? But I think it needed to be. It really delves into each character. Winners of this movie, The Flash, so much better. The iteration of The Flash in this movie is so much better. And this is going to be no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything. But the explanation of the backstory of The Flash, so much better. Cyborg. Dude, infinitely better interpretation of Cyborg in this movie compared to the original Justice League movie that obviously Joss Whedon did. Or took over, I should say. Infinitely better. The other winner, of course, Superman. Superman's story in this, infinitely better. Batman comes across so much better in this movie. I loved this iteration of Batman compared to the other Justice League movie. This is so much better. This picks up where Batman v Superman left off. And when I talk Batman v Superman, I talk the director's cut because it is a superior film to the theatrical cut. So take that with a grain of salt. All across the board, honestly. The one character who I didn't feel like got a bump in this was Wonder Woman. I honestly feel her story arc stayed pretty much the same, but it was still good. I didn't have a problem with that because I felt like her story arc in the theatrical release was good, so I didn't feel like it needed a bump. That being said, just the background of all the characters and the background on the storylines and the plots in this movie alone, so much better, so much improved. It is just a much better story. It is also visually 100 times better. Including, yes, the more boxed off style, which was in IMAX format, which is why you saw the 4:3 box style, because this movie was originally shot for IMAX, and Zack wanted to keep it that way. So much better. Visually, so much better. The story, so much better. In fact, I feel like in pretty much every way, this movie is improved, and the only sad thing is we're not going to get a continuation. We're not going to get a continuation. So Zack won't be doing anything more with this. And that's the sad part. That's the tragedy in this whole thing, in the re-release, I should say. Obviously, the background of this movie has a lot more tragedy than that. But I'm bummed. I was so happy after I saw the movie because it was good, but I'm bummed that I'm not going to get a continuation of the movie. So that's kind of how I feel on that. Let's jump over here. I wanted to show you guys the Rotten Tomatoes score. So Rotten Tomatoes, right now the critics are giving it a 75 rating, but look at this right here, 97% audience score, a 97% the Snyder Cut is getting right now on Rotten Tomatoes. That is awesome. That is an unbelievable score for an audience rating. So well done to Zack Snyder. Bravo. I have to give him a round of applause. I thought it was great. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I am going to give it another watch when I have a little more time to sit down and really soak it in some more. I had to kind of cram it in. Again, I've been working a lot, so you have to bear with me. But I was very impressed. So much more than the original theatrical release. Just a lot more pop too, and there are some surprises, some things that did not show up in the other one. And the funny thing is like there are scenes that I know were cut because like really from what the Snyder said, Zack and Deborah Snyder, they said there's 12 minutes of new footage that they filmed for this. The rest of it is all stuff that had been cut previously. So that means I enjoyed almost all of this movie, right? Which means Joss Whedon went in there and cut out some really good stuff. And it, again, just the best parts, the best additions were the backstory on the Flash. I really thought the Flash character was so much better in this version of the movie than he was in the theatrical. And then Cyborg, so much better in this version than he was in the theatrical, and you can tell. And, well, I don't necessarily like Ezra Miller right now. I do have to say that like this character in this movie was great and just a great job again. And just one more time, I want to say round of applause for Zack and Deborah Snyder because well done, well deserved, all the accolades, the 97% rating they're getting right now on Rotten Tomatoes, so great. But the big question that I have for you guys is what did you guys think of the Snyder Cut? How did you guys feel? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts, or of course, via the tip link, streamlabs.com/movieidiot. And I'm going to move on to the next main topic of the day. And my next main topic is this guy right here, and that's going to be the Superman and Lois show on the CW. Superman and Lois on the CW debuted, and this was a show that I wasn't sure about. So obviously they had this Superman character. It's the same Superman. It's a spinoff from the Supergirl show. So it's the same Superman character that they had in the Supergirl show. And if you guys have ever watched the Supergirl show, you know that they have really jobbed Superman in the Supergirl show. Every time he was in it, he was losing to someone. As somebody chimes in, Biffer says, hey, what's up? So anyway, every time you saw Superman in the Superman and Lois show, they jobbed him. Like he was getting his ass kicked by somebody and Supergirl had to come and save him. So I wasn't super thrilled about this show because I just didn't really like the character in the Supergirl show. Well, damn was I wrong, because the Superman you get in this Superman and Lois show is amazing. And this show has something that no CW show has, and that is great character development. This show comes across as more of like an HBO type show. That's how good it is. It doesn't come across as a CW show. There is struggle and strife that Superman is going through. And the basic premise of the show, and this isn't giving away anything because this is kind of in the trailer. So the basic premise of the show is, this is way later in Superman's life. He's married to Lois. They have 2 teenage boys, and he is struggling balancing his life with his 2 teenage boys. One of them, which is like, a pretty put-together kid who's on the football team, and the other one who is struggling with depression and personality disorders and things like that. And he, as Superman, has to be able to juggle those 2 kids, his relationship with Lois, and being Superman for the whole world. And wow, they knock it out of the park. I mean, what they do on this show and how they show him struggling as a person, this isn't Superman trying to figure out, how do I beat Lex Luthor, or how do I beat Doomsday, or this is Superman trying to figure out, how do I live my everyday life and be there for my kids and my wife and beat Lex Luthor or his whatever, enemy comes around. That is the biggest struggle, and it's a take on Superman I don't think I've ever seen before, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. It is brilliant. This show is so smart and so brilliant, and I love it. And, and other people are agreeing. If you look here, Rotten Tomatoes score for the Superman and Lois Lois show, the critic rating is 86% and the audience rating at 80%. So we're definitely seeing that people are agreeing with that. They're loving this show. I'm loving this show. I do think, in my opinion, and I'm a huge fan of The Flash, but I got to tell you, this is the best CW show going right now, in my opinion, by far. I've now watched 3.5. I'm not done with episode 4 yet. So I've watched 3.5 episodes, and it is the best one they have produced so far. I love this show, but it's not about what I think, guys. It's about what you think. Have you guys checked out the new Superman and Lois show on CW? If so, what do you think? Let me know in those comments below your guys' thoughts, and I'm going to move on to the next main topic of the day. And my next main topic of the day is right here, and it's one that we knew it was coming. Avatar is now the king of the box office once again. They had a $21 million weekend for a movie that is 13 years old in China. Just in China. It was only released in China. So Avatar had a re-release in China, coming out at $21 million, taking the all-time record back from Avengers Endgame by a pretty decent margin. They were down $7 million. They came back another up $14 million on them at $2.81 billion internationally, and Avatar is now the new king of the box office. And that raises a question. And that question for you guys is this. Is it fair that Avatar and Endgame are going to start doing this leapfrog? Because Endgame's had re-releases as well. Avatar's had re-releases as well. You know Disney's going to re-release Endgame again before the next big Avenger-type crossover movie, and you know that's going to jump back up over again. So is it fair that these re-release numbers are kind of making these movies leapfrog each other, and should you be the #1 box office movie all time if you've had a re-release? Sorry, guys. Need to get a drink there. My answer to that question is, yeah, it's fair. It's money. This is a money thing. The movie's released. It got re-released. It made the most money ever. It is the top dog. It is what it is. The number is the number. And Avatar now holds the crown again. They've taken it back. And Endgame will have to come back and have a strong showing when it comes back to retake it. But it probably will. The other thing that won't happen ever is I don't think any movie will ever supplant these two movies within the next 10 years. Because the way theaters are going to go right now, I think more people are shifting to streaming. I think your theatrical windows are going to go down. So I don't think we're ever going to see a movie approach these two movies for at least a decade in money. It may happen someday, but it isn't going to happen anytime soon. But that being said, what do you guys think? Do you think it's fair that Avatar has jumped and hopped right back into that number one spot in the all-time box office rating? Do you think they shouldn't have? Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts on that, and I am going to move on to the next topic of the day. And this topic might get a little heated for you guys. So, this is how this works, right? You live at home, and it's time for you to move out. You get in your place and you go to your parents or your friend and you're like, hey, man, I just got this new place. And can I just get your Netflix password for a little bit just till I get on my feet, you know? I just want to, get that Netflix password so I don't miss anything. As soon as I can, man, I'll buy you some beers or whatever, and, I'll pay you back eventually. But I want to get that Netflix password. And your friend's like, yeah. Or your parents like, yeah, go ahead, use our Netflix password. No problem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Netflix password crackdown may be a net positive in the long term, an analyst claims, because Netflix is cracking down on those Netflix password sharing. So according to this article I found in Deadline here, an analyst claims the decision by Netflix to better police password sharing could be beneficial to the streamer in the long run. And here's the number that I wanted to point out. A research company claimed 33% of Netflix users share their password with at least one person. Netflix, now, here's what you guys got to realize. Netflix has almost 200 million subscribers. So if 33% of those people are sharing their password with at least one person, that is 66 million people who are sharing their password. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. And a lot of people are mad about this, right? Oh, why? Oh, Netflix, why are you cracking down? Oh, look at Netflix just trying to get greedy. Look, Netflix has been operating at a loss for ever. They're $22 billion in the hole right now. And that is by design. They've started raising prices. That's one of the things they're doing to start making that money back. But the other thing is this. This was coming. We've all been lucky, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I had a couple of people on my account for a while. We've all been lucky to be able to share some passwords and do this stuff. Netflix is here to make money. They provide a service. They sink billions of dollars into that service, and they deserve to make some money back. So I'm not going to feel sorry, I'm sorry to say, for all of you who are not happy with the Netflix thing and them cracking down on password sharing. It's time for you to get your own accounts. That's just the way it's got to be, unfortunately. It's time. It's time. They are a for-profit organization. They never said they weren't. They've turned a blind eye for more than a decade. And now it's time for them to turn around and be like, okay, we need our money now. You've been getting by for over 10 years on us. Congratulations. Awesome for you, but it's time that we need to get paid. And as much as I hate to say it, I agree. They deserve to be paid. They sink the money into it. They put out quality products, things like The Queen's Gambit and Stranger Things and all of the quality, like the Old Guard movie, all of this money that they've put into entertaining us for over a decade. Yeah, they should get paid for it. So I don't feel too bad for people who, unfortunately aren't going to be able to mooch off Netflix anymore. It's time, That's how it goes, man. Like, you can't get stuff for free forever, okay? It is what it is. I got to pay for it. So it is time. So I'm sorry if you don't agree with that, but I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts on Netflix cracking down on password sharing. And I'm going to move on to my final main topic of the day. There weren't a lot of topics to talk about today, but we had a couple of big ones here, and this is the other big one, and that is this. Today, Falcon and Winter Soldier dropped, guys. The first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier dropped, and two things I got to say. First of all, I loved it. Really good. This is Marvel, right? This is typical Marvel fare, and it is every bit of typical Marvel fare. The second thing I have to say is poor Falcon and Winter Soldier. They had a tidal wave. They should have released a week ago because they had a tidal wave of momentum coming out of WandaVision. And the problem is DC dropped the Snyder Cut the day before, and I think it stole a little bit of their thunder. I don't think Marvel is worried. I'm pretty sure they're going to be fine, but I think they would have liked to command the headlines a little bit more. So, I mean, I guess, kudos to DC for stepping it up and be like, hey, we're going to jump in on this action a little bit and take some of it. But look, this show is really good. This show is really good. And we're just getting into it. First episode out of the bat, and we're just getting into it. I really love Sam. You're getting a lot of background on who Sam is, which is awesome. You're getting a lot of background on where Bucky is now as a person. It's really great. I don't want to say anything. I'm not going to give anything away. No spoilers here. But I got to tell you guys, I really love the direction they're taking so far. 49 minutes for the first episode, so we will see if they keep that length up. I know a lot of people were disappointed with not, just The Mandalorian, but also WandaVision and being shorter episodes. So typically the first episode's a little bit longer, so we'll see if they keep that length up. But all in all, it's Marvel, and it's amazing. It's a really good show, and I think we're just delving into it. So a good first step in the right direction. Again, Falcon and Winter Soldier, a great first foray into the show itself. Let's take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores for Falcon and Winter Soldier. 95% critic rating. That's a 95% critic rating right now on Rotten Tomatoes. Only a 79% audience score. I'm actually a little shocked by that. Let's scroll down a little bit. I don't normally look at the comments, but you know what? Let's delve into why. I want to find some of the bad ones here. Another Marvel formula, it works, but it's the same way to make heroes, movies, and series. The critics love it, but for the audience, it's just okay. So that's one negative review. I just wanted to pick out a couple of the negative ones because I'm kind of shocked that it was so slow and a bit boring, not as expected. I mean, I didn't find it boring at all, so I kind of disagree with that one. Let's see if I can find another. I'm a little shocked it's so low, so I want to look and see. Boring, slow, lack of grace. We'll do one more. I just want to see. I'm just a little shocked. Here's a couple of them here. These Marvel shows are so pointless. Totally disagree with that. Sorry, dude. It passed the time, but there's a lot better TV shows out there. Again, I disagree. In the midst of comic book media renaissance, it's difficult to become invested in a familiar show. Unfortunately, The Falcon and Winter Soldier falls into this category. While it certainly has intriguing moments, it lacks conceptual and thematic strength to capture my attention. While the writers' attempt to deepen these characters is admirable, their choices are far from bold. Not to mention the pacing is quite frustrating. Don't get me wrong, I'm all right with a slow burn. However, unless the actual plot is compelling, it's hard to remain engaged. Still, I'm going to continue to watch the series. I just hope it picks up a bit. Again, okay. I strongly disagree. I think this is a great start for a show. It's kind of like WandaVision. You don't throw everything in all at once. I don't know what people are expecting, but I feel like people's expectation is what keeps letting them down, right? Give it time. Give it a few episodes. Let them build the plot. I honestly think the directions they were going were really good. I don't understand this mentality that, you have to throw, get me, boom, let's go. I mean, don't get me wrong, but they have scenes that do hook you in initially. these first couple of episodes are going to have a lot of narrative, explanation, a lot of exposition, as they say. But that's good. You want exposition. You want plot development. I think that's a great thing. I don't understand. I don't get it. And obviously the critics don't get it either, because the critics kind of agree with me. They're on the 95% side. So, but anyway, it's not about me. It's not about the critics. It's about you. What do you guys think about Falcon and Winter Soldier? I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up in those comments sections below. And I'm going to move on to, of course, our comments for the day. So a few tip comments I got in today, which it's been a couple of weeks, so I want to thank you guys again for bearing with me. I know I didn't have a show last week. It's been tough, man. I'm not going to lie. Working 70-plus hours a week and trying to squeeze in a show, it's a little rough sometimes, so you have to bear with me. Every once in a while, I'm going to miss one. So, I did last week. I'm sorry, but we're back this week, and I'm going to jump right into your comments here. I got 3 tip comments. First one, of course, comes from my guy, Del Mackey. And every week, dude, this guy is like clockwork, man. I fucking love it. Del Mackey says, "Oh my God, Mike. First, I'd like to say glad you're back." Thank you, Del. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Secondly, I loved the Snyder Cut, he says. Yeah. I mean, it was, again, visually stunning. The character development was so great. Yeah, it's long. But, I mean, if my biggest complaint about this movie is it's long and a little bit of cheesy dialogue here and there, okay, because the character development is awesome. The visuals are stunning. This movie is really good. This is exactly what I wanted to see from a Snyder Cut. I got the villains I wanted. I got some cameos I didn't expect. Dude, it was great. This movie was, okay. It was really, really good. I won't say great, because yes, there is some cheesy dialogue, but really, really good, which is all I could have ever asked for. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I agree with you, Del. I liked it a lot. Let me go to the next tip comment here. Next tip comment. Again, if you want to send in a tip comment, of course, you can send one into streamlabs.com/movieidiot. That's where you send in tip comments to the show. So the next tip comments I got right here is from Nick Papa Giorgio, and Nick says, "Poor Falcon and Winter Soldier." I just said that. Poor Falcon and Winter Soldier. Snyder Cut completely stole their thunder, LOL. Loved them both, by the way. Yeah. All right. I think that Marvel, made a mistake. They're going to be fine. I'm not worried about it, but I think they probably would have been better off debuting Falcon and Winter Soldier last week. That's my opinion. But, hey, who am I to argue with Kevin Feige, right? I mean, all they do is pop out hits. So, but yeah, I do think that the Snyder Cut kind of stole a little bit of Falcon and Winter Soldier's thunder a little, but that's okay. That's okay, It is what it is, right? I think, like I said, Marvel's going to be just fine. So, all right. So that's the second tip comment. I got one more, but again, guys, make sure you guys comment. You can comment live on the streams right now too if you got some on these topics or any other movie and TV topics. I'd love to hear from you guys. Comment below on the streams, or of course, hit me up in the tip comments, streamlabs.com/movieidiot. And I'm going to move on to the last tip comment I have for today, and that is from Bob Jones. Bob Jones says, "Leave it to Netflix to screw us all. Rich getting richer. Ugh." Dude, I gotta disagree. Again, they have sunk billions of dollars and have literally let people get away with password stealing for a decade. That's not the rich getting richer. That is a company being extremely generous, not cracking down on this for an entire decade. And they've decided, no, it's time for us to get our money now. You guys have had long enough. Sorry, not sorry. And I don't disagree with that stance. So I disagree with you, Bob. I respect your opinion, of course, but I disagree with your stance on it, man. I'm sorry to say I don't have a problem with Netflix cracking down on it. Again, I used to have people who were on my account. And, if that was the case right now, it might change and they may not be able to be on the account anymore, So I used to have a dog in that game, dog in that race or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Anyway, I disagree, Bob, but I appreciate you chiming in on the topic. And that's it for our tip comments. I want to thank, we don't have a whole lot going on other than that. Again, it wasn't a huge movie news week. I do want to say again, just closing, I am so happy for Zack and Deborah Snyder. I'm so happy for them. The Snyder Cut, in my opinion, is a success. It's great. Again, the sad part, the real downfall, unfortunately, about it is that they won't be able to do another one to delve into everything they set up with this movie, because, man, it would have been epic. I think it would have been epic. It would have been great. And I really, really would have, loved it. As Biffer jumps in and says, peace, dude. Take it easy, man. Thank you for chiming in. Really appreciate it. And I want to thank, actually, everybody who checked in. So Buffer, Del Mackey, Nick Papagiorgio, Bob Jones, you guys have been awesome. Thank you all for chiming in on the show. And we're going to do this next week. I'll get you guys time out there. I'll try to be better about it. Again, I apologize for missing last week. 70 hours plus, man. I've been killing myself. So hopefully soon I won't have to do that as much anymore. But I appreciate you guys checking in on the show. And I will catch you guys later. I'm hoping maybe to do a spoiler discussion, maybe on Sunday night about the Snyder Cut. I was going to do Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I can't do both, and I feel like the Snyder Cut is the better way to go. So if I do one, it will be Sunday night. I'm thinking maybe 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if that happens, I will keep you guys posted and get an event out there for that. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and I'm going to catch you all later. Until then, peace. I'm out.